Today's show is proudly sponsored by Rio, the premium activewear brand that's dedicated to making you feel your very best and your most authentic self. Use code INTUNE10 for 10% off your order today. Hey guys, and welcome back to In Tune with Allison Park, where we discuss the music that makes us mindful. Today we have one of my first favorite people in Nashville. He is on the scene everywhere down here. So if you're ever here at a writer's round, listening room, anything like that, you're gonna find Justin Love there. So excited to have him on. Justin.
I am forever changing. I don't mind rearranging. You've got to crawl before you walk. Routines I never bother, 'cause my mind can change by the hour, and I can live without a clock. Oh, don't you worry about me. Oh, 'cause I'm right where I should be. I'm doing just fine. Gonna paint my walls with my own design. Don't
What's
rush
up,
me.
gal? Been a hot second and a half. It's more than half a hot second.
Oh my God. I swear your personality always lights up like the room. Every single time I see you, I have like the biggest smile on my face and it's often too because anytime I'm playing a writer's round, it's like you appear. Like I feel like there's not one person in this town at this point that doesn't know you
Right.
because you're just always there with like the most bright smile and like kind words and obvious talent. So I'm always excited when I see you because I'm like, is he gonna play tonight? Because it's just the best.
Well, I appreciate it. I've been told I'm a force to be reckoned with as far as my energy and personality. I did play the Bluebird Cafe not too long ago, and apparently I gave off nervous energy.
No.
Because they said they said on the scorecard they were like, he doesn't seem to stay still, and I was like, if you knew me, you would understand.
That's true
just me,
though,
so,
but
yeah.
that's the percussion in you.
It totally is.
For sure. Like every single time that I've seen you live, which was actually the reason why I absolutely loved watching you, was because you can tell that you have like a drum background while you're also playing. And in my brain, the first time that I saw you, I think I remember coming up to you and being like, you remind me of like pop country Jason Mraz, which I hope you took as a compliment because he's like one of my
absolutely.
favorite.
I did because I remember responding saying I love Jason Mraz.
Yeah. Well, literally, when I first met you, it was right as I was starting to do writers rounds and I was trying to like figure out how everything worked. And I remember you were like quite literally the kindest person, and you were so open, like you were like, hey, come on my round and come over here, and this is a good round to be a part of. And you just were like so welcoming, and I know you do that with a lot of people, so I can first like handily say it was such a big help. And I'm just so excited and proud to see you get into all of these bigger rooms to write and the writers rounds, because like absolutely come on, the Bluebird, the listening room, you're playing all of the places.
Well, thank you.
And you deserve that 100%.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, hard work pays off, right? I mean, you know, it took me 6 years to get in the listening room, and that was just for accompanying another artist.
Yeah.
So, but I love doing that just as much, which is why I was so excited to accompany you.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, you're just a gorgeous individual inside and out. I loved your voice. I love the songs that you sent me. And I was like, anyway, sorry.
I love when you did the white flag one with me though, because it was like it was why is that?
Yeah, I did the back
It was so good though, because you added so much to that song that I wasn't even expecting.
Yeah.
And I always love that when you play like the writers rounds and things like that. I don't know, like people who haven't been there and haven't seen, like maybe haven't been to Nashville to see these kind of things. There's something really special about getting up on stage and being on a stage with somebody who you didn't maybe knew your songs, like another artist, and then suddenly they come in and they jump in on a harmony, and you're like, I didn't know you knew my song, and then you start doing it for them, and it becomes this like really amazing energy, and it's just like such a phenomenal special thing to be a part of, and that was definitely one of the first times that happened, and I was like, oh, he knows the White Flag song.
Heck yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I mean, when it's a good song, it's hard for me not to jump in, you know? I mean, that's the way I've actually been introduced to so many people in this town is, you know, I love harmonies, and I like to say anything that makes the song more dangerous to the ears, I'm all about it.
I love that.
And so bottom line, I've been doing them since 5 years old, and not too long ago, I started playing for this gal named Whitney Miller, who's been tearing it up around town, also from Texas, but didn't meet her till here. And, doing harmonies and knowing her set like the back of my hand took me all the way to a private Super Bowl event.
That's amazing.
So it's like, she's like, I can't do this without you. I'm like, well, dadgum, this is great,
Yeah.
And it was just as fun as performing like a show for myself.
Yeah. I think just doing music in general is such an amazing thing. Like, I always get excited when I'm doing backing vocals for like other people's tracks, things like that, and just writing for other people too. I never thought, if you asked me like 10 years ago, I wouldn't have thought that was something that I enjoyed just as much as singing for myself and writing for myself. I would have never thought that. But once you start getting into the magic of it, it's really there.
It really is. And I love collaboration. Competition is bull. Collaboration is key. That's the way I feel about it. And I don't just collaborate with everybody. I got to get to know you. You got to get to know me, and you find out how much people really want to get to know you versus just write a song with you to say they got a song pinned with you.
That's true.
Because then they can say, hey, I wrote a song with so-and-so. Maybe we can play the listening room together. And it's like...
Yeah, they're trying to tag their name onto it.
Another one bites the dust. That's what I say.
I do think a lot of people... I do think that that's something to watch out for sure, in the music industry in general is... really truly making sure that the people that you're writing with and you're working with are a part of the journey and on your team. I've done a lot of writes with people that, it was fine. It was a good write, but I'm like, I probably won't write with that person again. And I'm sure that that's happened with people like with me too. Maybe I was just off that day or something like that and it just didn't vibe. And that happens as well. But I think that it's very interesting because I know a lot of people just want to get a write in and they're trying to like fill their week out and things like that. And they'll be like, oh, and it does feel a little bit like, well, I'll just pencil you in. And I think it's cool to be a little bit more mindful with those choices.
Absolutely. Well, and if you won't take time to get to know me, you obviously don't want to write a song with me. Yeah. Or actually, maybe you want to write one, but you don't need to.
Yeah.
And I guess that's my whole thing as well. I'd rather get to know the person I'm going to get in the room with to share my heart and my sadness and my heartbreak with before I'm open about my story with everybody, obviously. But bottom line, doesn't make my heart any less guarded actually letting you in if you really want to be a part of my circle.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you have quite a few songs out right now, which...
I do.
Okay, I Wanna is... amazing.
Thank
you.
I
love that one.
Yes.
And then
my favorite one.
And then my favorite one is Feels. That one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, literally, when I can hear it, I suggest everybody go check out Justin Love, his music everywhere, all the platforms. But literally, that one song, it's so infectious and like.
Thank you.
It plays in my head rent free.
Rent free, I love that.
Rent free plays in my head.
Doesn't cost no energy.
No, I literally will be like walking around and then it'll come into my head. And then I'll be like, wait, what is this song? Why am I singing this? And then every single time I'm like, oh, it's Justin's. And at the time this was happening pretty often, right when I had first met you, it wasn't even out yet. So I was like, there was nothing to listen to. It was just playing.
I know, right? You might have had like a clip that you could see on Instagram or whatever from like a live show, but it's a whole different ballgame here in that studio track. My producer, Jason Wyatt, and Elliot Ditter, my whole Speakeasy Studios and We the People Productions, they just annihilated that every way I wanted it. So, and that halftime just kills, because that's what I wanted. I even told the drummer that was there for the session, I said, can you do this in halftime? And he goes like, I said, no, like like hip hop it for a second and a half and just make me feel something. And obviously it was great. So we had a lot of good response with that one. So I'm glad that one got stuck in your head.
I mean, and I Wanna is also equally as infectious, like across the board. But those are just some of the highlights. But there's many more. But many more to come. I'm so excited.
Definitely a lot of great songs coming in 2024. Later in the year, I'm so excited. But I also have a great Christmas song out too. So.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to we'll link everything too, honestly. But yeah, a good Christmas song is every artist needs a good Christmas song.
Oh yeah, well, and I had one that I did last year, and it was nice. It was cool, but in the grand scheme of things, it's my grandma's favorite song, should I say?
Oh, I love that.
My grandma listens to it all year round. So I had this song that I wrote in January of 2021, and I was like, I want to beat the song from last year. And the very first person I thought of, I said, I'm going to send it to my grandma when I get it and see what she thinks. And I sent her my first mix. She goes, "That's so amazing, darling." I said, "Yeah, does it beat the one from last year?" She goes, "No, no, 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 no."
She's your honest sounding board. She's going to let you know.
Yeah, but everybody else is like, I vote the second one. So I was like, me too. You know, the group Neon Trees, right? Yeah, so I'm still a country guy through and through. Obviously, I'm wearing somewhat of a boot anyway. But anyway, so it's bottom line, it's like I love Neon Trees. I love that whole rock opera thing that he's doing, and just so pop elements as well. The angst in his voice. And I was like, if I could take Neon Trees and put him in a room with Keith Urban, then maybe we could write a song for me.
That is so specific.
Yeah, and that's what we did. So I was super excited.
I'm so excited to hear this song.
Yeah, it's called Glow. So you could say the song's pretty lit.
Cute.
Cue the drum, please.
He went all the way there.
Yeah.
Oh
well, I don't like the word dope, because dope's not something I use. It was something my dad did. So off the record, sorry.
Outing your dad to everyone.
He's a brand new man now. So
Speaking of, though, you grew up. Your dad was a pastor, correct?
Yeah, youth pastor.
Okay, yeah. I remember talking to you a little bit about this, and I kind of want to get a baby bit of background for everyone.
Yeah, baby background.
A baby background. So you grew up like heavily in the church scene and in that kind of music.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that and how that kind of played a part?
Yeah, so the church scene, as well as in my household, everybody has to do chores, right, to get their allowance. In my household, we just had to do chores because we had to. Our allowance was given whenever we quoted Bible verses.
Oh.
So I was determined to start getting toys and candy and money at the same time, quoting as many Bible verses as I could, and not realizing as a kid that it was fueling my memory early on.
That's very
interesting. That's why I'm able to
interesting.
still memorize so many things whenever people send them to me, and without having a music stand. Thank God my brain's still working like that. But
I don't know, mine's faltering a little bit at that point, so I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I cannot remember those lyrics even to the songs that I wrote, and I'm like, I messed that up. People are like, how are you forgetting your own lyrics? And I'm like, I was paying attention to the lady in the front row's outfit.
So you could say right now you're calling a ceasefire.
He remembers the lyrics of my songs better than I do.
Yeah. It was an interesting thing because we also went to private Christian school all our lives. But I had started singing when I was 5 years old, and I just give credit to the man upstairs because I taught my sister to harmonize that same year. And all I remember was she was singing in unison with me, and I was like, I said, okay, hey, follow me, but go up a little bit.
Yeah.
And she goes, I said, yeah, right there, now follow me. And that was just the way it started becoming clockwork. And then we started singing in the church, and 11 came, and I was on the drum set, and I just became one heck of a mad wanting to hit something. And then around 13, I just really went heavy on the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you
but
can tell.
Christian music
great
was
at
where it
both.
all started for me, yes. You know,
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to listen to a lot of the secular stuff till 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
So all the Def Leppard, the Black Sabbath, the Van Halen, the Bon Jovi, it was missing in my life.
I'm so glad you
Sucked.
finally got to listen.
Finally,
to
when I got to turn up the radio, oh man, I cranked every bit of it. I might have became a little bit more of a heathen, but it's okay.
I mean, we all definitely go through that phase. I always say that I I definitely had to hold off on a lot of the pop stuff for a while when I was younger, until my parents were like, yeah, okay, like you jump into it or whatever. And when I finally started listening to some of it, I was like, oh my God. And it's funny because I ended up more in that world. So
yeah.
do you feel like maybe you ended up more in that kind of vibe because you maybe did have to hold off for so long to listen to it?
I believe I believe I was taught certain things, and I look at back how the music was, influential to me. And I took some of the elements that I learned in Christian music and applied them to what I would do as far as playing live. Because in Christian music, I'm not going to say who coined the phrase, but there was a famous guy who's a very big, in stage production and stuff like that and coaching. And he coined the phrase. He said, whenever you're performing in a church, your eyes are supposed to be closed because it's a moment of worship.
Yeah.
He said, but when you're in front of an audience at another show, on another stage, he says, if you keep them closed the whole time, you're the only one getting off. So you're committing musical masturbation.
Oh my God.
I tried to say that on the salt without laughing, but man, it was like so real for me. And I was like, that's so true. I learned in college, the only best way to approach someone with what you have to give is look at them or look almost right directly above them and give them a moment to be part of your world and part of your story. And it's like, I love doing that. I'm not scared, obviously. I mean, I use pickup lines on girls just to see if they work.
Which ones have worked?
Hi, my name's Justin Love. No, I'm kidding.
No, but kind of though, because then they're like, oh my God, what is your last name really Love? That would be easy.
Now that you brought that up, perfect segue. So when I wasn't able to date till I was 18, so I had, a couple of girls back when I was in, that age. And before 18 years old, I was, playing basketball a lot, and I was pretty popular and whatnot. I was known as a speed angel because there were no speed demons at the school, Christian school, obviously. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm so awful at these. But anyway, and so
go off.
Bottom line, these girls were asking, oh, so you're like just in love, but just in love. Who you just in love with, Mr. Love? And I couldn't date him, so the very first thing popped in my head was like, well, I grew up with Jesus. And so it ended up becoming, to this day, my first ever email address. So it just played a very important role in my life. Not that I was trying to pick up those girls at the time because I couldn't.
You're about to get a lot of emails on that old email list.
No, yeah, that's right, daggum. Well, whatever. It's my junk email at this point.
Honestly, we all have to have one. Somebody said the other day, and it just cracked me up, just completely separate segue, but somebody said something along the lines of no one feels regret more than you thinking about your first email that you made when you were a kid.
Yes. But what ended up happening with mine is I became it might still be on Spotify. I'm not really sure, but and on Apple Music and the digital platforms. But I had my Christian niche was just in love in quotation marks with Jesus.
Yes.
And I was like, I'll be daggum darn, it works. And
it does. So, I think it's so funny. People don't realize how simple things really do translate, and you don't really have to overthink too much of that if you have it right in front of you.
Absolutely, yeah. And I had it all around me. So it was a great way to grow up, but it was also nice to be able to branch out. Backstory. When I graduated college and I moved here, I was so excited to be on my own, even though I was, living with some friends. And, I was so interested about the unknown, the mystery of meeting somebody and wondering if there's a chemistry. So what does that lead to? Dating apps, and so I got on a dating app and met a sugar baby. So, yeah.
No!
Yeah. Not knowing what a sugar baby was. I still had a purity ring on my hand, so you could say I was a good boy. But obviously it's gone now.
That must have been an interesting inspiration for a lot of songs.
It was because, as Christian as I was, she said she was Wiccan.
Oh.
I didn't know what Wiccan was. We met at Belcourt Taps, and I was like, that sounds like it's pretty wicked. She goes, it's not wicked at all. I said, sounds like it. I'm going to go find out for sure, and I told my dad, and he goes, that sounds pretty wicked. My dad didn't know either. He was like, that sounds pretty wicked. And then he said, this term sugar baby doesn't make no sense to me. I was in high school, and someone told me what Friends of Benefits was. And I didn't even know what that was.
So wait, did she come right out and say I'm a sugar baby?
So I asked her what it was, whenever she told me that she was one. She goes, I get pampered by older men for favors. And I was like, well, what kind of favors? She goes, I spend time with them and they pay for my car. And I was like, I want to be a sugar baby. Man, dadgum, that just sounds like the
there
life.
It is.
I said it right to her face. I said, how do I get in this? And then not knowing that there's that underlying, arrangement, I guess you could say, that's done between them.
How old were you when you moved here?
I was 24.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But
help me, Jesus.
Texas does not know about sugar babies.
No, I was a sheltered son of a gun, I tell you. Yeah, I didn't know much about anything. I didn't even know the girl that was in Texas trying to get close to me was wanting to be friends with benefits with me to get with my best friend.
Oh no!
So I was like, what the bomb in tarnation? So
you're just trying to be a good guy.
I was trying to be, obviously. I was becoming a bad one.
Oh my
I
god.
said yes to a sugar baby. But anyway, and she was wicked.
Oh my god.
Man,
Are there
anyway.
are there
My
any
gosh.
songs specifically about this experience that you have out right now? Because now I need to know.
Not
None of
out,
them made
no.
the cut.
No.
You got to be
that
about
was-
real love if you're
that
gonna
was-
make the cut.
Yeah, exactly. That's an era that I tend to go back to, especially around this time, because I was with her for like 8 months.
Yeah.
And around, I think, like the 6th month in, I'm a very open son of a gun, obviously. My book is, by the time paparazzi gets around to share my dirty little secrets, everybody's already done known. But
He's like, I'm gonna beat you to the punch.
exactly. And around this time is when we kind of started having issues, and I found out really what a Wiccan was and all this jazz and what a sugar baby really is. And I was like, bull corn, man. I'm not going to be leftover love. You either choose me or you choose something else.
I'm sorry. Have you written a song called "Leftover Love" yet?
No, but it
Because
is actually one of my hooks. You want to write
I was
with me?
going to say, yeah, we gotta write that
Okay.
song. 100%.
Nobody else. Still that. Thank you very much.
Copyright. Right here.
I've been holding on to that for like 3 years.
That's amazing. No, that's an amazing title.
Yeah, well,
So
what can I say?
there
Write
you
it with
go.
love itself, daggum. Help me, Jesus. Yeah.
Well, I love that you pulled yourself out of a dark situation like that and just like kept following a lighter space because no, truly, because I feel like everyone around you, like that I see you around, is all just like light and kindness and just good people. So I think that says a lot about you and a lot about the direction that you are and headed in.
Yeah, well, even in that moment, in that dark time, I had people calling me that I hadn't heard from in 2+ years,
Yeah.
saying, you have such a strong light, but for some reason, wherever you're headed, it's getting dim.
It's interesting
And
to
I was
have
like,
those people though.
Huh. I ain't heard from you in 2 years. Where you been? I'll just do my thing, and these are people that I trust,
Yeah.
and so it's like, and then when I went to go see my dad one time and visit, and he couldn't even look me in the face.
Interesting.
And he's like, my dad and I have been through hell and back, and there's a whole other part of that as well that I went through. But bottom line, he told me to my face. He looked at my face for 5 seconds, said, "I can't look at you because I see death in your eyes," and walked away.
Oh my God.
And needless to say, it was because of where I was, what the choices I was making, what I knew right from wrong and all that jazz, and then I found out what the sugar baby stuff was, and she had like 6 sugar daddies that she was juggling. I was like, Lord have mercy in the world we live in. Of all the heifers in the hayfield that get messed up, it's me, And so
The alliteration that is coming out of your mouth
oh.
this entire time, I'm just obsessed with. I'm sorry.
Well, fun fact, that's the first time actually saying it that way. I usually say, and all the heifers in the hayfield say, hallelujah, but...
That's triple alliteration.
But anyway,
Can
63
you,
acres.
Can you guys tell this person is a songwriter?
63 acres, that's what I grew up on. So
Oh
yeah,
my
anyway.
God. Okay, so then you come to town, you sort yourself out, you start playing all these rounds.
Yeah.
You're getting into all of these amazing new groups and listening to all these new artists, working with new people, playing for other people. And you just signed your first publishing deal.
Yeah, with SB21 back in June,
let's
June
go.
22nd. Yeah.
Well deserved.
Thank
I'm
you so
very,
much.
very excited for you. I'm so excited to see what you're about to come out with.
Thank you. Yeah, we got a pretty busy schedule for recording an album or an EP at least in 2024, so it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Well, you certainly have a lot of material to pull from in your past, which is
Yeah, I know, right?
yeah. And now that everybody knows everything,
Now we're gonna
going on.
write another song to add to the list for next year.
Exactly. That's right.
Yeah, I waved the white flag
Yeah.
now, but should have waved it way back when. Daggum.
Sometimes we learn the lessons we need to learn a little too late, but that's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a great line for a song too. The way you just worded that, there was a lot of L's, and I don't know, it was just great. Could you say
I
it
feel
again?
like I do use
Could
a
you
lot
say
of
that again?
L's.
There was like so much wisdom in that moment. I just need to rehear it. Can you say it?
I don't know if I can. I think it just went. Ow.
Nothing happens the same way
It's okay.
twice. I got you. It's all good.
We'll rewind and replay it again.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh man, no, I do think though I'm so excited to see what you have coming out as we go through the next few years, and now that we have a little bit of your background, I want to kind of get into some songs that maybe are nostalgic for you.
Okay, yeah.
So if I told you like, okay, you're it's like that song that you could hear anywhere and you kind of just stop and you're like, wow, that really took me to a different place. Do you have something that that makes you feel like?
Is this something I wrote or another artist?
Another artist, like a song that maybe made you, like something that makes you, if you could be in like the grocery store or in your car and you hear it and you're transported.
Yeah, and you maybe kind of. I got two of them. Okay, one of them.
I'm gonna ask for three.
Okay, all right. Well, one of them is Raylan's song "For a Boy."
Okay.
Okay. Now the reason being is because I'm a melody guy. When I go into a room, usually I'm what they call, I chew on M&Ms, music and melody. Those are my specialty. Not always the lyrics. I come up with a good hook. Heck yeah, I got some great co-writers to help me write it because I'll say "daggum" every other sentence.
That is your catchphrase, 100%.
Daggum?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. I'm not wearing it today, but I got hats that are being made with it. So
That's
yeah.
amazing.
They say daggum and they say justinlovemusic.com on the back.
That's perfect for you,
Coming
honestly.
soon, thanks to my amazing friend, and I call her hat maker, merch lady, Christina Gilloni.
I'm going to need one of those hats for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll hook you up. And we'll hook up your crew, too. They're very nice.
Hats for everybody.
No, I said no. The crew, okay?
No, okay, hats for everybody in the room.
Yeah, I was like, don't put me in
Well, but
debt.
everybody else can get hats, though. There'll be a place to get the
they can buy
hats.
them. Yes, that'd be nice.
Artists, we forget to like say things like that. Like, oh, I have merch, by the way.
Yeah. It would be For a Boy because when I heard her melody, first it's in one of my second favorite keys, or my first favorite key now is E flat. And
That's a good key.
it's a great key. That's what I want is in. But anyway, and so I think the thing that I love about it is when she starts singing that chorus, I'm hearing the harmonies, and so I just go to town. I love practicing her, Justin Bieber, like all these people are just so great. Even if their message is nostalgic, I'm all about the harmonies. I can hear them. It's just so beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
But that song is one
Yeah.
because I can hear it anywhere, and it's like I'll get my phone out just to record it. Oh my gosh, guys, my song came on. Of all the songs in the world, one of Raylan, For a Boy, which she's from Texas.
It's
as well, too.
that is a beautiful song.
Great song.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like,
Yeah.
man, oh, daggum donkeys. Anyway,
I'm never gonna be able to hear sentences again after this.
oh yeah, I played a sold out show at Listening Room Cafe, and it was I said daggum donkeys. There was a moment I was playing part of the show, and I literally went to go give a solo to my buddy Troy. I went, wow, and I did, and I wiggled my feet like this, and I wiggled this way in the chair, and who would have thought I was gonna fall out of it? And
Sometimes I think you are when I watch you play live. I'm like, he's gonna fall out of that
my
chair,
publisher
100%.
got a video of my feet. She went to go zoom on him, and then she just left it on video. It's just like, it's awesome. But anyway, that song, Right On Back to You by Keith Urban.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Absolutely.
Obviously, I'm a Keith Urban fanatic.
So good.
And then there's a song by Jimmy Wayne, who was a guy back in the day. He hasn't been around for a hot second and a half, but he had a song called Do You Believe Me Now? So do
Okay.
you believe me now? Guess
have
I
to
really
listen to that.
was. And actually, I've been listening to so much Neon Trees. I love animals.
Oh, that one's always. I can hear that one that start in my head. You know the. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So when you hear Glow, you'll definitely hear some Neon Tree
Yeah,
vibes.
I love pulling all of those influences. Like, you know what I mean? When you're listening to an artist, I hate when people are like, "Who do you sound like?" But I do love listening and being like, "Wow, that person definitely likes a little bit of this and a little bit of that." And then when you ask them, it is cool because it translates, you know?
It does. And, you know, I know we're talking about songs, but just about anything by Ed Sheeran, I can go to town on any day.
Yeah.
Anytime, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be hard. I think it would be hard to be an artist that doesn't like Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. 100%.
sure.
You know, and I don't know if you saw, but I got to meet my muse. I got
You
to meet Keith
did?
Urban. I got to meet Keith Urban.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I got to talk with him for like 3 minutes, and I thought, as honest, God's honest truth, I thought I was gonna meet Keith Urban. I'd be like a female in front of Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Not know what to say. And
But you
scream
did. You knew what to say.
Oh man, it was
Did it
his
feel
night.
like an out of body experience? Like your body was floating away from you when you
It
were
did.
there?
It did after that. Hilariously enough, he was so nice. It seemed like he was just as excited for me coming up to him and introducing myself, saying
Yeah.
congratulations, because he was being inducted into the Hall of Fame that night, Songwriters Hall of
That
Fame.
is amazing.
Yeah. And he was like, thanks, mate. And I was like, can I get a photo with you? He goes, absolutely. Took my photo, and I thought I was just going to melt, and he's not even a woman, And I went back to my chair, and it's like the rest of the world didn't matter because I went to go cut my food, and obviously I suck at cutting stuff. So next thing you know, gravy flies all over everywhere with my beautiful suit, $475, whatever, only once a year. And I got these 2 female friends of mine cleaning me off, and I'm like, take me home. I'm ready. Let's go.
You're like, I already
let
met
a tornado
Keith.
come through. Take me to heaven. I've done met him. It's whatever. So
Well, the gravy waited until after you met Keith Urban.
it did absolutely.
Yeah, thank God.
Thank God.
God for
Thank
that.
God. Thank God for the gravy experience.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, those are all amazing songs. I think that I'm trying to put it this way. I think that is there anything that like connects all of those songs to you that like makes you gravitate specifically towards like those 3 songs that you bring up? Is it the harmony specifically? I know you're a melody person, but I also know you listen to the lyrics. You're definitely a wordsmith.
I do. Well, I think I look at For a Boy with Raylan because of the fact of what she's talking about for this person. And like, I want all this stuff and I can be all this for you, but you're just a boy. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, hit me hard with such the most simplest stuff.
Yeah.
It don't take much to hit me, honestly. If you don't hit me with the hook, you hit me with the melody. Hit me with the melody, hit me with the hook or the lyric or something instrumentally. Woo-hoo-hoo, I'm done for. Keith Urban, his song Right On Back to You is pretty much the heartbreak, but then he talks about no matter what I try, I'm driving away and I find myself running right back.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was me with the Sugar Baby, I kid you not, for a hot second and a half, which is more than half a hot second. And let me tell you, it was hell to finally let go and break that soul tie. Mm-hmm. So... But thank God I did. Thank God for the gravy experience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start saying that. That's nice.
That's also a shirt now, and it's gonna
Thank
have
God for the gravy experience.
gravy all over it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's nice.
You're welcome. 10%. Just kidding.
Absolutely, there you go. And then what was the other one? Animals. It's honestly just I just love that guy's voice.
Yeah, it's also like everything they do is very energetic, which
Yes, it
I
is.
feel that you very much.
Very
so.
energetic. I'm all about positive vibes. I mean, I'm a very
Yeah.
positive son of a bitch, honestly. But
I feel like though.
SOB. Sorry,
you
we're
have
live. My
you
bad.
have positive vibes in your music, but also your lyrics can be heartbreaking.
Well, if we want to go that route, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents went through divorce back in 2014, which was literally right after I got past the Sugar Baby. I finally let her go, and I was like, I'm smooth sailing. July 3rd ruined all my July 4th for a hot second and a half. And let me tell you, but,
Yeah.
I am a firm believer in the man upstairs that he won't give you more than you can handle. And if you think he actually does, it's because he's then telling you, put faith in me to take care of the rest. And I had to.
Did you need to hear that today? Did you need to hear that today? I needed to hear that today.
Oh, hallelujah, and all the heifers in the hayfield say hallelujah. Hallelujah. There you go. See, you're the first ones to actually do it back. Everybody else just goes, just sits there. I'm like, that's your moment. But anyway, it's a fact though. I mean, and I went through a very dark moment there because, it was so hard. I was in the middle of it. It was a conference call that I was on. And I had one in this year and one in this year. And I'm just here just trying to get back on track with my life. But
It's hard figuring out that your parents are human beings dealing with stuff.
It was. And I'm a very forgiving person, but it took me 2+ years to forgive in that type of situation.
Yeah.
But again, I finally gave it to God and everything like that. And he got me through it. It was not too long after that I wrote a song called Easy For You To Say, which we're actually recording later this month in January, and it's going to wreck people because it's from my dad's perspective and it's intense. But now again, I have friends of mine that'll listen to us. I have a love-hate relationship with this song because it just doesn't make no sense for the female. But bottom line, I didn't write it from the female perspective or from my dad's perspective. But bottom line, I love my mom. She's in my life, so I don't want anybody thinking that she's not. She's in my life. My dad, he found him another amazing woman. And you want to talk about someone that has the most amazing humor is God. Because my dad met a woman with the last name Weed. Yeah. So I got love and weed in my life. So check this out. I also wrote a song with two stoners because I don't do this stuff. Matter of fact, when I met them, have you ever met Mark Oriette around town? Or
I don't know why that name sounds so familiar, but
He's got a song called Masturbator. But anyway, it's ridiculous. He's talking about fishing, but it's so good.
That's so clever.
Yeah, he says you can find them early in the morning when no one's around.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I do love
stroking
writing
it
with,
up and throwing it out. It's so fun.
I love writing with a double meaning.
Oh,
That's the best.
It is so good. But what was crazy is I needed him because I knew that they did it. So I literally went up to him because I've never done this stuff. I mean, I had a shotgun years ago with the Sugar Baby, and I was like, I like this.
This
Give
woman,
this to me. I'll take this daggum. She keeps coming up.
Better
Trust
watch
me.
out. People are gonna be so mad.
Well, no. I mean, she's great. I hope she's doing well. I really hope. I have no ill thoughts or anything about her. I learned a lot,
Definitely.
But Mark Oriette, I was like, hey, man, do you do the weed? And he goes,
Do you do
he
the
looked
weed?
at me and he goes, do I do the weed? I mean, you could say I do the weed. Matter of fact, I don't go on for another hour. I'm probably going to go do the weed in about 15 seconds. Would you like to join me in doing the weed? I felt so stupid. Well, anyway, so I told him, I said I had this idea, and I threw it out there, and he jumped all over it. And it was actually the perfect amount of weed references, but it's actually about my dad's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called A Whole Lot of Love and a Little Bit of Weed.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Did they hear it? Did they love it?
Yeah. My stepmom, she loves it. Her name is Beth. She couldn't be any more ridiculous than fits in our family, but she loves it. My dad goes, that's way too much green talk for me. But yeah.
That's so funny. I love when, I mean, it is truly, it's a sense of humor thing for sure, but I think that's so, if you can't laugh, like, at this point, like in the world, in the state that we are in, if you can't find a way to laugh at yourself and at the circumstances, like, what are you doing?
Absolutely, yeah. And I was talking to my dad one time because I told him, I said, I'm going to get these interviews, and I wasn't necessarily talking about this one, but this is a perfect example that I'm probably going to open up about my story. And he said, you do what you do, son. He said,
Yeah.
It's just how you connect with people. He said, we love you. You ain't bashing people. I said, no, I don't. I love my family. So, and that's why this song that I'm talking about, it's called Easy For You To Say. I wrote it with Greg Wilson and what's the other guy's name, Dadgum? I don't know, Hal Odell.
Okay.
But anyway, I wrote with both of these guys that had been in divorces before, so it really hit.
Yeah, you got
and
that
it all
perspective
started
for sure.
with a guitar line.
Yeah.
That's how it started, the whole song, and it's going to wreck people. I mean, we've had hit songwriters going, dang.
I'm
where's this
excited
at?
to
So,
hear that.
I'm telling these hit songwriters, well, you get it to this one, you get it to that, come on, I'll give you a finder's fee.
Yeah,
We'll see.
right.
So we'll see, but we're excited.
That's so exciting. I'm pumped to hear that. Do you I have a question specifically for you that I've asked a few other people on here.
I
because-
did not have sexual relations with that woman. No, I'm just, I'm sorry.
Specifically for you.
Well,
Yeah.
it just seemed like it was going there because I brought the
Oh
sugar
my
baby up like 3
God.
times, which I was that'd be a lie. Cause
For now. Just kidding. Okay, so
What's up?
no, but specifically because I've had a lot of people on here who are like highly spiritual or believe more in like universe stuff or like believe in God. Like there's a lot of people who come across here across the board, and every single person has said something very similar, unique. Like it was very specific to where they feel like no matter what religion or what they believed in, that they felt like when they were writing certain songs that it came from a different place. Like they honestly are like, hey, that just came out of me and I don't know how that happened. Do you have anything like experience wise like that?
Yeah, I mean, some of the hooks that I get, honestly, when I'm driving, I mean, I there's been some moments that I hate fishing. I don't fish. I can't
don't fish
stand
either.
it. I have a lot of patience.
So on your dating profiles, you don't have a big picture of a fish with you?
I'm actually not on it anymore. I meet enough amazing people in person that I don't need to
That's
fish that
true.
way.
Yeah.
I fish for hooks that ain't been taken, and I found one. And,
Really?
Oh, yeah. Which, I mean, I have one out right now. If you actually go look up on Apple Music or Spotify or whatever, if you type in "went looking for me,"
Yeah.
The only song that comes up first is mine.
That's amazing.
And that's what you want. You want something that intense. If you look up I Wanna, it's going to take a moment because, gosh, there's quite a few
Yeah, you're
of them.
going to find some people, for
And
sure.
if you look up Justin Love, there's apparently some type of R&B artist
I
out
did
there.
see that.
Yeah, freaking donkeys, man.
I'm interested. I'm
I'm
interested
not,
to see what he's
I'm not interested. I'm mad. I want to know if his is real. Anyway.
Is your last name real? No? Then change it.
Exactly. Yeah, I got the driver's license proof.
We're searching for the other Justin Love. Let us know if your last name is real or not.
Yeah, exactly. But I've had certain ones like that, and it makes me think that like that's my hook, and like Man in My Review that I wrote about my dad, I guess one of the main moments that I can say it's such a dumb song, honestly, but it was a song that I wrote called Should Have Started With a Cover.
Huh.
Now, I've never done anything with this song because honestly, I just wasn't twangy enough. I'm not twangy enough now. Hell no. I mean, I put it in my catalog. It's there. Somebody will do something with it. But I met a girl from POF, which at that time was called Plenty of Fish, which obviously I suck at fishing. Putting the two and two together. And this girl was like so into me. She was like, hey, I just really want to meet you and come hang out. And I was like, I'm not scared to go to someone's house. I'm not thinking of all the stuff that could be happening. Like, all right. She goes, bring your guitar. I'm like, okay, brought my guitar. It's a sad situation at the same time, so I'm going to be delicate. She's not with us anymore. She died a couple of years back, but she was in the restroom doing something that she probably shouldn't have been, But I started with an original song, and I ended up writing a song about her asking me to make out. And instead of going, yeah, like somebody that probably would, usually, I went, huh? And she goes, wow, that was rude. And I went, no disrespect. Last time I checked, I'm the one that has the balls here. And I'm from Texas, and I love actually making those moves. I'm just saying that's what I do.
No, definitely. It's definitely a Southern thing for sure.
It is. And I'm fine with a woman knowing what she wants, but dadgum, it was a moment that sparked a song as soon as I started driving home. It hit me like a bullet, and I started writing it all down, and I was like, if only I had started with a cover song, she wouldn't have fell so fast.
Yeah.
So...
That is funny.
Which I was quite shocked. I said, okay, God, I guess I'm quite clever. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Okay. I always like to, that's something that's very interesting. And I know that you definitely, that's something that's a part of your life. So so I just wanted to know if that's something that's happened to you for sure.
That is. And then probably, if I have to pick another one, be I Wanna.
Yeah.
I've never had a song hit me so sure that I had everything as far as the melody, how I wanted everything, even going into my producer with it after Troy Castellano and I wrote it.
Yeah.
Being so sure that I wanted it this way, this beat here, this right here. And my producer loved every bit of my ideas.
Yeah.
And that was something that was just amazing and remarkable.
Yeah. Those doors open when it's the right thing,
I know. I'm just waiting for my future wife to call me and say, I love that song.
Yeah.
Like, you love me too?
That's how she found it.
I'm telling you, dadgum.
It's not on Plenty of Fish, though.
No.
Just post song
I
on
think
all
the
of
F stands for something else, so
profiles.
I just won't say that on there.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I'm going to ask you a few more questions.
Lay them on me.
All right, let's go. So
I'm enjoying this. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, absolutely. Yeah. It's honestly,
Am I looking at the camera enough? Sorry, I'm just so
you don't even
on...
have to.
Okay, dadgum. Well.
It's fine. No,
okay,
this is
cool.
great.
Hi. Okay.
Hi, Mom. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I want to ask you when you feel your most authentic.
When my foot's wiggling, obviously, but like when I'm on stage, in front of an audience live, whether I'm sitting down or I'm performing 100%, I'm doing this a lot. If people can't see on the camera, I am moving my foot. Elvis had the
I was just gonna
shaky
say,
leg.
that's an Elvis
I got the
thing.
ridiculous wiggle. I don't know what you call it, but anyway.
It's restless leg syndrome.
No, it's love. It's something. It's like restless love.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. But anyways, bottom line, it just always goes. And my publisher, I had a show at Listening Room, and just my feet are going crazy. It's so crazy. But And what's crazy is it'll be going faster than the beat of the song.
It's true.
Just
I did notice that. It's just
it's like nonstop
driving
90, man. And it's
forward.
freaking awesome, man. I talk to God about it all the time. Like, people are going to think something's wrong with me. And honestly, I think I'm all kinds of right. But probably whenever I'm performing. There you go. See? I'm sorry. Did I have another hook?
I love that.
Well, hell, I don't know what I'm doing, dadgum. All the heifers in the hay.
You are the most yourself.
Thank
Yeah,
you
you
so
are the
much.
most yourself person that I have met in this town, for sure.
Well,
and I
thank you.
absolutely love that because it's unapologetically you. And I think that more people need to do that.
Well, I think authenticity is what's going to get your point across the most, right? I mean, you don't have to have all the boxes checked off being the best songwriter and best, dancer and best looking, obviously.
Yeah.
You just got to be the best you.
Yeah.
You can impress someone by being somebody else, or you can impact them for a lifetime by being yourself.
Justin,
What?
do you just keep these in your back pocket?
Well, I think that's what I do when I take the stage. I go, how do I impress someone for a moment? If that's what I want. Because there's a lot of people that come to town like, I just want to impress this record label. Fine, fantastic. You want to impress them? By all means. Mm-hmm. I'm on the bigger picture. How can I impact them for a lifetime?
Yeah.
Impressions fade. Impacts are eternal.
Yeah.
So that's more my focus.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do it with this showboat. And it's more like, it's just in me. Not in the great words of not Shawn Mendes, it's in my blood. Obviously, it's in my wiggle,
Shawn
too.
Mendes.
Well, he says, it isn't in my blood.
So it is in yours.
It is. That's why I
It
said in
is.
the great words of
That's
not
so accurate
Shawn
though, because
Mendes.
it almost feels like every time I watch you, you're being like taken over. Which is why I asked the other question about if you feel like it's coming from some other place. So,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I firmly believe the whole reason I'm still here in town after 10 plus years doing what I love and loving what I do and loving the people that I get to create with too.
that
Hey,
was a full rhyme.
That rhymed.
That was
just
a
got-
full.
Boom! Mic
rhyme.
drop. Not literally. It fell for me once already offset. But it's
That's
because
true. The
it's,
mic did come down on you. I'm
it's
so
because
sorry.
tons of I gotta have my daily dose of Jesus, just like I gotta have my daily dose of Java. Mm-hmm. So
I love it.
yeah.
That's awesome. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna ask you a hard one. Because in this town, it's hard to ask this question.
Love can handle it, I'm sure. I'm just not sure how yet. But
Who is an artist that you think is severely underlistened to that more people need to hear?
man, well, that's because you have so many choices,
I
dadgum.
know.
I mean, frick nuggets.
Stumped ya.
Okay, all right. I'll give you someone.
All right.
There is a girl who I would call all kinds of authentic. Okay. She is the granddaughter. Sorry if I'm, stealing her thunder. She's not here right now, so I can. She's the granddaughter, I think, of Jim Ed Brown, who was the song Pop the Top Again.
Yeah.
Her name, and I'm so excited about this section, I'm not going to lie, is Isabella Brown. You want to talk about someone that is all kinds of authentic, all kinds of herself, unmoving in how she wants to write a song? She's like, Crystal Gale-ish. She's like, man, just a bunch of that classic country vibe, and she is not wavering. And
I love that.
She is so set. We knew each other for like 2 weeks, and then she started sending me work tapes, and I was like, this is it. And
Yeah.
my boss at that time, he hated country music, and I was playing her work tape, and he goes, that belongs in a Western. Can we hear that again? And I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Is it out? Can you hear her stuff right now?
She's got a song that she's releasing called A Song I Could Cry To. And let me tell you, if you like the classic country vibes, I love them. I don't necessarily write them all the time, but boy, I can go to town on some old school any daggum day, just close my eyes and get lost. Hallelujah.
That's right.
But I don't want to write it because, it's just not me.
yeah, absolutely.
But I support
You're allowed
her.
to love songs that
Absolutely.
are not your writing style for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I support her and what she's doing. And she's got a lot of stuff that she's now doing. She's doing a bunch of writer rounds. She played a sold out show with me at Listening Room Cafe, and
Yes.
people loved her. She's going to break.
I love
I'm
that.
super excited. I'm just glad because God's given me the power to break shy shells, and I broke hers. pretty fast.
That's exciting. No, that's great. I'm so
Check
glad
her
to
out.
hear that.
Isabella Brown.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely.
All right.
I would totally say she's rated under. For me,
All
she's
right.
overrated.
I can't deal with you. Okay, so okay, we're gonna check out Isabella. That's amazing.
Check out
I love that
Isabella.
name too. That's just like so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I know what.
You got another hard question?
Yeah, I mean, it might be. I don't know. What is a lyric when that you've heard a song and you thought that the song's lyric said something, and then you found out that it did not say that?
Oh, man. Give me a second. A song that...
Like a misheard lyric.
misheard lyric. Man, there's a couple of them. I just wish I could think of them in the top of my head. Man, you might have to get back to me on it, honestly. I mean,
That's
which one of
okay.
yours?
Well, I've famously told the podcast. It used to be Living La Vida Loca. I thought he said she'll shampoo you down.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Also, like another one that I definitely thought, but I think this is pretty universal, is Elton John. I for sure my whole life thought that was Electric Boobs.
Oh,
She's got electric boobs. 100%. 100% thought that.
man, I know I've got one. Oh, I got one. You know the song "Two Tickets to Paris"? I got
Yeah.
2 tickets. The part "waited so long."
Yeah.
I came from Christian music, so I thought he always was saying, "Great is the Lord,
That's a
great
good
is the Lord." And I'm thinking, heaven, I got 2 tickets to paradise.
That makes sense.
And then there was another guy who was a Christian artist who says, he's got a song called I Have Been There.
Yeah.
And he would sing it as, I have a been there. And I remember as a kid, I was like, I have a business. I know what pain is all about. I was like, dang.
I feel like if you have a business, you do know what pain
Well, that's
is.
what I was saying. I was like, I never put 2 and 2 together and got 4. I was getting 3.5, but it was hilarious because I would always sing. I would sing it at church. Oh, I have a business. Like, just, hallelujah, I got a business.
Next to you is like, what is he
I
saying?
know, right? I'm probably
my
distracting people from the worship.
They're like, this guy has a business, this kid.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that daggum animal on Kung Fu Panda. Inner peace. Inner peace. Shut up.
When you're looking. Those are actually 2 really good ones. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you.
You're
I mainly
welcome.
asked
It
that
took a
question
moment.
because it makes me giggle. Like, I just think it's so funny to hear. And Antonio and I actually walked around asking people, and I think we'll probably continue doing that just because it's funny. But we were just like, oh, we'll put this on the socials. But we've been walking around asking people that question.
I
just
love
like
that.
casually at like wineries and on Broadway.
Right? I love that so much.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it really
God.
gets your brain thinking of how many, like, you can think of back in the day. I watched a YouTube video once of this Chinese guy, and he was doing a Carrie Underwood song. But, man, it was not even close to what the words were. But the syllables and the vowel sounds were all being the same. And it was just so
Yeah.
crazy how that worked. I mean,
It's no, because truly your
it made me
brain,
laugh.
there are things out there that like are inspirational videos where somebody will say, hey, like, I'm gonna say this sentence and then you're gonna say it back to yourself like a ton of times, and you tell me what it is that you hear after you say it a ton of times, and it's like people will come back with like 5 different answers that all sound exactly like what the guy said. And it's kind of weird to me because that's, I think, what's happening in our heads. But you're like, okay, is everyone hearing this other lyric, like the Elton John song, or is this specific to me and I was just hungry that day or something? You know what I mean? Like, or I just felt like I needed to shower, so this is what's in my head. Your brain plays so many funny tricks on you.
It does, man. That's definitely an interesting thing. There's another one by Mr. Kyrie Eleison. Kyrie Eleison. I thought it was Carry the Reason. Carry the reason. I'm thinking, what's the reason? The reason for the season. Jesus. Hallelujah. Carry the reason down the road that I must travel. I mean, it all makes sense to me in Jesus whenever I involve Jesus.
My face is gonna hurt because I'm like smiling and laughing.
Oh, I still
too
think
much right now.
great is the Lord. I kid you not. I think I was like 21 or 22 in college till I found out that it was not great as the Lord. I was like, I heard it come on, and my friends we were having to do an improv ensemble, so everybody was playing the song, and I heard them say, and I was like, I looked at the lyrics, boom. I waited so long. I was like, I've waited so long to know this. Epiphany.
Do you ever think about once people really start like hearing your songs on bigger, like across the board, like which songs they're gonna completely butcher the lyrics to?
I would tell you this: my whole thing would be listen to my productions, and if you do have a question, because I mean, I ask some of my friends when I hear some of their songs, I'm like, what's your lyrics? I can't really tell what they are. Like sometimes they're so far back in the mix, and then sometimes it's like it's so vowel sounds are not opening their mouth enough, you know. And so I'm definitely cautious of that. So I'll make sure that my what do they call it, your diction? Yeah. Help me, Jesus, hallelujah. Is decent. That way people don't have to be guessing on my lyrics.
Absolutely. You know who's really great with diction and just a great example across the board is Michael Bublé.
Oh,
you can hear every sound that man says, and every word that he says is crisp and clean. It's amazing. I don't know, I don't know if it's for any specific reason. I think it's just very natural to him, but it's just everything is like, you cannot misunderstand one word that man sings.
Absolutely. And actually, you bring up Michael Bublé. He's actually got some influence in my Christmas song.
Really? As he should. I mean...
He does. Just not the way that you'd be expecting this country pop artist to be hitting it.
He's de-thawing as we speak.
De-thawing. Help me, Jesus. But
oh my gosh. Well, that's amazing. I'm so honestly so happy you came here today and just put a giant smile on all of our faces.
Yeah.
Please tell us where we can find everything you already have out.
Okay.
More about what's coming in the future and anything else that you might want to include, like socials, anything like that. We'll link it, but what are they?
Absolutely. I want to first and foremost thank you so much for letting me be on your podcast. Thank you, your awesome crew. I want to thank God for the Grammy that I haven't won yet, but the one that wakes me up every morning, because she's a whole lot better than the one that sits at home collecting dust on the shelf. I call her Grandma, but Grammy just seems so right. I will say that you can find most of my music and stuff. I'm sorry. I just have always wanted to say that in front of a camera. So I can't wait for my Grammy speech. That's what I'm going to say.
I'm so glad that we have this. And when you do grab an actual Grammy, I'm going to replay that several times.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
You can find me at justinlovemusic.com. That'll be the quickest way to take you to all my music. And bottom line, I'm just super excited to, I guess, share everything with what's going on in the new year. We've got the Christmas single that came out last year, so we've got a couple of sad songs that are going to be coming out this year. Toes in the Water, that is so high energy, is coming out this year. So it's going to be lit. Oh,
it's going to be lit.
It's going to be amazing. And a good bit of shows. We got an EP in the works. And if anything, we're definitely gonna be playing a whole lot more shows, and just continuing to do the thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna lose my wiggle. Hopefully,
I don't see that going anywhere.
Yeah, that's really what's going on. I'm thankful to be writing with SB21. Thankful to Teresa for giving this Texas Scissor Bill Jack Doe Billy Bob Brown that loves to bitch ball in the writing room a chance, and cranking out some good songs with good people.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for your candor and your kindness. And
what's the word candor mean? I've never even known that.
I
Teach
need
me
you to
will be
look
one
that up now, because you are the wordsmith over here with all of your words. It means you're like complete honesty. You're being completely true to yourself.
You're very absolutely. Honest. My candor. I'm about to say, I always thought people were saying, "Hey, will you like my candor for me?"
You're very transparent. You're honest.
Oh, well, do my best and let God do the rest. That's what I will confess.
I love that. Yeah. Thank you so much,
Thank
everybody.
You.
Justin Love, go check his music out. Daggum.
Can you say
no?
Daffy. Can you say gum?
Gum.
Take fee out and say da gum.
Daggum. Did I do it?
Sounds like you're saying dig 'em.
I am so from the East Coast. I don't know if I can ever do it.
Can you say dad?
Probably not the way that you say it.
Dad? Daggum. No, I'm good.
I'm. Can you say yins?
Yins.
Can you say dantan?
Dantan.
Yeah, see, not the same.
What'd you say, downtown?
Downtown.
Oh, I thought you said Dantan.
See?
All right, daggum. All right, I raise it. I raise my white flag.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to this episode of In Tune. We'll see you next time.